Today, I'm going to be showing you how many ad creatives you can create with just one product image. And for today's example, I'm going to be using GolfDaddy because I absolutely love their brand and their product. And at the moment, they're not even running any Facebook ads at the moment. So they could probably use these. So what we're going to do is actually come to Canva, and I've already downloaded the product image that we're going to use today. So I've just pulled this off their website. Now, this is really easy to do with Canva these days. So all you need to do is go to add a photo and remove the background. It's that easy. I'll just make my head a little bit smaller as well so you guys can see some of those options on the side. So just adding this little background remover, you can see it missed the club head here. So we're just going to shrink this down a little bit. Just crop it to size here. And there we go. How easy was that? We have our white background product image in a matter of like 10 seconds. So what we're going to do is flip this up and we're going to create some different ads from this. Now, I haven't done too much preparation to start this video off. But what we're going to do is just run through some ideas just off the top of my head. So this is obviously a very plain product image, not too much going on here, but what it does is really gives us a great image. Now, okay, so we're going to come down to photos and we're just going to search up golf course for a background. Golf course, this one, set that as a background image. So even then, you could almost just use this as an ad creative, but as always, you want to use best practice. So we're going to add a title in here. So we'll go to title. Now I like mine up the top. Move this down slightly. We're just going to leave, we're not going to play around with the fonts or anything. You guys would know how to change the fonts, but come over to their website and we'll grab a headline here. So the Divot Daddy Pro is a sequin based mat. Probably not that one. Instant feedback. Don't waste your money on range balls, real-time divot feedback. So I reckon that's pretty good. So we'll use that. We'll just pop that into the headline. We're just going to capitalize that because it's a headline. Grammarly, thanks for the heads up there. And what I'm going to do is, whoops, pull this out. So we've got the two lines here. And we might actually add an effect on here, outline. We've got to go white just to make it pop out a little bit more. I usually do about 100. So we'll just get that there. So this is already looking a lot better than what we originally have, but there's still a few more things. So usually with an ad, you'd also want an offer, and I can see they're running a $46 offer at the moment. So we're going to use that as well. So going to go in here. Say $46. This is a bit too small at the moment. I can't even edit it properly. So we'll go like that, and we might add a bit of a background effect as well. I actually did just get their brand color, so hopefully I've still copied that. There we go. So this is looking 10 times better already, and this is just a simple offer ad. So limited time only, grab this Divot Daddy, real-time divot feedback. So this is obviously for golf people, which is why we've got a golf course in the background. And I think this could do with a little bit more actually. So might just come to elements here and maybe add some golf balls just on the side. So this is a story ad that I'm creating at the moment. Open up these graphics and see what we have. This one looks like a pretty nice clean golf ball. Nothing like mine. Mine are always in the water or in the mud. So we'll just place this down here somewhere, just overlap that a little bit. And what we're going to do is actually add a couple of animations to this. I'm really liking the wiggle animation recently, and we might also put a pulse on there. So that's just going to allow that golf ball to move around the screen a little bit, just to add a bit more of that creative pop. We might shrink this one a little bit. I'm going to put this one behind to give the ad some depth. And we might also put one up here. Now you got to remember there's some red zones up here, especially on story ads. So just keep that in mind when you're creating the ad. Obviously you don't want the text like right up the top. I see so many people get that wrong. And you also want to leave some breathing space down the bottom around this area, because there will be a shop now button on your Instagram story ads. So also put this one to the back so you can read it, and then they should all keep the animations because I've copied them. We might actually rotate so they're not all on the same angle so they don't all look like the same. And we're just going to quickly play this. So there you go, there's an ad. Really simple ad with just using one product image, and everything else come from Canva. So this was really nice, clean, took me about 5 minutes to actually create. Now what we can actually do now is create multiple different variations of this to test within the ad account to see what actually resonates with the audience. So a real-time divot feedback, that's a pain point for me. I never know where my club path is, so that definitely makes sense. But somebody else might react differently. So maybe it's about improving your swing consistency by analyzing your divot. Maybe get instant feedback on your ball contact. Maybe we go feedback just so it reads a bit better. Might actually shrink this headline a little bit. Just put that on the second line as well. Thanks, Grammarly, Lifesaver, whatever you corrected there. Just get that positioning right again. And there we go. We've got our second creative. Now you can go do that 15 different times. Put in these couple of headlines into ChatGPT and just be like 15 different variations of this, or 15 benefits a user would get from using Golf Daddy, right? Or Divot Daddy. So there's one variation that you could possibly create. Okay, so this product page actually makes it really easy for me to come up with good ad ideas because they're so, this landing page is actually very good. So what we're going to do is actually come down and screenshot these little icons here. Now, obviously, if you are actually working with this brand or the brands that you are working with, you would actually get these images, so they're very nice, high quality. But for now, we're just going to paste them onto here, and we're actually going to make these quite big and go the full length, right? Now, remember what I said, I do have a sizing guide for Instagram, so we're just going to put that up here a little bit. Going to duplicate this. We're going to put this up a little bit, and then we might actually get a different background as well. So let's see if we can find a nice one here, maybe some water, see how this one looks. Set background image, so new product, best new product 2022, 2-day delivery, improvement guaranteed. And I do like having headlines on my ads, so maybe we make the Divot Daddy a bit smaller, and we're actually going to add a headline in here, and then we're actually going to pull their reviews. So what we're going to do is just upgrade the thick. It's pretty bad contrast on that at the moment, so maybe we just remove that effect, something like that. But you can have a play around with the colors, but you get the idea. How quick and easy with that was that creative, and it's much different to this one. So if we actually, here's two creative. So we got this first one, so there's a bit of animation there, real-time divot feedback, 42% off. Now this one's more of maybe a retargeting one, saying you've got over 42,000 customers, and this would definitely catch mine eye, probably because I designed it. But let's move on to the next one. Now the next design is going to be pretty similar. We're just going to black this background out. So we're just going to go to elements. We're going to drag, we'll go to elements, square. So we'll grab a rectangle here, and we're just going to drag this over the canvas so it's completely covered. Just get that to click in. We're going to go position to the back. Now see how it's not set as the background. Now what we can actually do is actually lower the transparency, and you can actually make it stand out a bit more from the background. Now I've seen this work really well for some client ad accounts, just because the backgrounds are like a contrast a bit with the text on the screen and doesn't allow the product to pop. So now that I've actually dimmed that down, the product is a bit small compared to how I would like it. So if we get that centered a bit, it's a bit more. So you can see there's a bright variation, but then there's also the content variation, like the content focused one. So what we actually want people to be focused on, we don't want them focused in on the background, even though like it's a golf scene and it's a golf product, but we do want them to be focusing on the product. So there's another quick variation that you can do in like 30 seconds, and you might see a 20% increase in click-through rate just because of this simple change. So what I've done is just added a background. I'm just playing around with the design a little bit because this one's taking a bit longer than expected, but yeah, pretty much it's going to be pretty similar to the first one, as you can see, but it's not going to have the golf balls floating around. You could add that for sure. But we're just going to have a really simple offer, $45 off. And we're also going to tell them what the RRP is, the real retail price, which is $154. $54. We'll probably bump this up to like here, and we're just going to add a strike through on this, just to say, hey, this is what it was, obviously $45 off now. And we might actually add that box that I was thinking about around the Divot Daddy. So if we get a pretty thick box, no one memed at that. This one here should work if we just rotate this a little bit. Come on, please just be the correct size. You get the idea anyway. You can play around with this at home when you're doing your own product. Doesn't look very good. My light just went off too. I've been recording this video for too long. I don't even like that box. It looks better without it. So there you go. We might actually do some sort of like sunrise effect, or maybe we have a sun in the top, just as an idea, just to add like a moving element to the image. So if we go, let's say this one, for example, put it in this corner so it doesn't actually cover the logo and brand name. Just make it like that. Gotta animate this. Is there like a rotate one? Nah, piss the sun off. Let's animate the actual breeze. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, all that about 75% out, and we're actually going to do the same with this, so it all moves together. Yeah, something like that. That's completely fine, and then you're going to have the call to action to shop now down the bottom. $45 off. This is really simple creative, which is what I'm finding working on a lot of client accounts at the moment. Like this is just really simple product image with a background that's related to the niche that you're going after, and the offer and the USPs of the product, and then also some social proof as well. So these are super simple ads, guys. Like you can create these. I don't know how long I've been recording for, but it hasn't been very long, 20 minutes. So we've got 4 different ads here, 20 minutes. And then you could pretty much just duplicate these and just change the text on them as well to create like infinite variations. So the next one, we're going to use about the same design, but what we're actually going to do, that star gave me a idea. So we're going to add this shape in here. We're going to go to yellow. Might have to make the product a bit smaller. Just do that 5 times because we've got so many 5-star reviews. Obviously your product isn't going to look exactly the same as there. It's not going to have the same size than that, so it might take a bit of fiddling around. There we go. That's perfectly centered now. So we're just going to go back up here. 42,000. See, you can actually like you would get these profiles here, wherever their reviews app is, you would get these profiles. You would stick them on here as well. So obviously that looks really bad because I've screenshotted it from the website, but you can get that and just make that look a lot better. We'll just screenshot this for now. You get the idea of the ad. Just center all these so they're perfectly centered. And there you go. There's another one. 5 stars, more than 42,000 customers. This is another real simple creative, and if you wanted to just make them look a bit different again, you can just add all sorts of famous golf courses on here. So maybe you would do the Masters. They probably don't have licensing rights to that. Canva, whatever, but here's some different images that you could possibly use. So maybe you could do a driving range because this is where the actual mat would actually be used. Go golf range, see what happens here. Yeah, something like this. Place that background. There you go. So there's another one. As you can see, I think blue skies, that's the weather that people want to play in as well. So, and it works really well with the creative. So there's another one here. There's 5 different creatives that you could create in less than 20 minutes. So I hope you guys find this helpful. I'm just going to play this again. Remember to add animations. It just adds that extra little bit of flair, as you can see on this one. The first one I created, probably my favorite straight off the bat. This one's going to be a really good review ad, so that would be great. This one here, just a blacked out background, so maybe a split test you could do there. This one, really nice simple ad as well, bit of movement on there with some animation. Yeah, there you go. There's 5 very simple product image creatives that you can create for your own business. As you can see, it only took me around 20 minutes to create these, even less. So you've got absolutely no excuse to be testing creatives on Facebook, or not to be testing creatives on Facebook. So if you do need any help or ad inspiration, I've got this ad library that I can bring up and show you on the screen right now. So as you can see on the screen, this is a creative library that I have for all my brands. Each of my brands get a dashboard. This one is just a swipe file that I created, so you can go in here and create different ads. You can see this one I was trying to recreate the box, wasn't really working for me, which is all right. But like, yeah, if you want access to these dashboards, I've got heaps of them. So whether you want a benefit ad or a sale ad or a bundles ad or a video ad or some TikTok inspiration, I've got a dashboard for it. So please hit me up if you do want access with any ad inspiration. But other than that, I hope this gives you some good inspo for you to go out and create your own, and I'll see you on the next video.